to another edition of the Verde Valley Experience. I'm your host, Jennifer Cohen. Welcome to the show today. Summer has arrived in the Verde Valley, and along with the long, hot days and the beautiful, cool desert nights, we have some of the festivals and events unlike any other. My guest today, lots of great guests going to tell us lots of great information. First up here on the show with me from the town of Camp Verde and Camp Verde Promotions are Nikki Miller and Steve Ayers to talk about Camp Verde's own Corn Fest, which is coming up July 18th and 19th, something you got to see and go to. Also, we'll have Holly Eppright, Executive Director of the Sedona Main Street Program, accompanied by Jack Tenno, and he's the Creative Director and Historian for the Red Rock Posse, and they're going to discuss Sedona's National Day of the Cowboy celebration, which is happening on July 26th in Sedona. From Camp Verde Parks and Rec, Michael Marshall will be here, Parks and Recreation Coordinator for Camp Verde's Summer Trip Program, which is very, very cool. You'll want to hear about this. He'll be giving us all the information that we need on this great local program. High Desert Youth Football registrations have started. Here you go. So Brandon Figge from the High Desert Youth Ball. Let's start that again. High Desert Youth Football President. Oh my gosh, that's a tough title. Will be giving us the details on getting your kids involved in the 2014 season, which is now getting underway. We'll be on location at the Cottonwood Rec Center outdoor pool with water safety instructor trainer and American Red Cross lifeguard instructor Jack Teal, and we'll be discussing summer water safety tips. And we'll close out our show today with one of our very own in-house musicians. This is very exciting. Kyle Benedict will be on the show. We've pulled him away from the newsroom just long enough for him to perform live for us in the studio, so that's also very exciting. So stick around, we've got lots of good stuff for you. We're going to get the show started. So we have Nikki Miller from Camp Verde Promotions and Steve Ayers from the town of Camp Verde. Thank you guys so much for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Corn Fest.
Corn Fest.
Very cool.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's very hot.
Well, it's a hot time of year. That is true. And of course, the corn, hot, buttery, steamed, roasted corn, yum. That's going to be good stuff too. But Corn Fest, there's a lot going on to it. But can we start out with a little history? Steve, you want to give us a little history of how Corn Fest got started?
Yeah, it actually, its origin goes back to the Hauser family, which has been farming in the Verde Valley and in Camp Verde in particular since the late 1960s. And I think it was around 1968 or 1969, the family decided that they were going to plant, actually Mrs. Hauser, Brenda, who's a former mayor, decided she wanted a few acres of sweet corn. So she talked her husband into planting a 5-acre parcel right down on the Verde River. And at that time, folks would come over there and they'd just simply pick your own. Well, 5 acres went pretty darn quick, and then shortly after that it was 10, it was 20, and it is now the Hauser family now farms about 60 acres a year. Wow. In sweet corn. And somewhere 23 years ago, if you all want to do the math, I don't know what that was, they decided to celebrate this really a business that's become quite iconic for the town, is sweet corn. People come from all over. For years, people used to go to Young's Farm in Dewey and talk and rave about the sweet corn over there. But the fact of the matter is, most of the corn for the early part of the season was coming off of Hauser's farms here in Camp Verde. So one of those closely held secrets that people in Prescott were buying Verde Valley corn.
Oh. Well, they say the sweetest sweet corn comes from the Verde Valley. Must be the river.
Oh, it is good corn.
Yeah,
and it's out already. She opened up last weekend, and I already ate some corn. It's good.
I got to get myself over there. It's
awesome.
Very, very exciting. But now tell me, how does the celebration work? It is happening on Friday, July 18th. Starts at 3 and goes all the way till 10, and then continues the next day on Saturday from 10 to 10 in downtown Camp Verde. So, Nikki, can you tell us what you guys will be doing there?
Well, this year it'll start again at 3. When I first got started, I didn't think anybody'd be there ready to eat corn at 3 o'clock, but I learned that they're there at 3 o'clock ready to eat corn. So we have to start roasting probably about 2:30, so we have the hot roasted corn. There's going to be a new event. We're going to have a craft fair this year. It's going to be in the gym. It'll be from 3 to 6 on Friday and from 9 to 6 on Saturday. Friday night, we're going to have a cornhole competition, so we're hoping to have a lot of people come out and participate. That's going to be our entertainment for the evening. And then Saturday is going to kick off, going to be a pretty busy day. We're going to have a birding excursion that starts at 6. There's one at 6 and 7:30. And then the hot air balloon tethered ride will start at 9, weather permitting. Sure. And it's usually over about 10:30 because it's amazing. The little breeze that we feel is a great big breeze upstairs. Right, so it is fun to do, though. And then we'll be roasting corn throughout the day. And at about 11 o'clock, we start the games and stuff that are going to happen. And we have live music all through the day.
Right. And some of the games are hysterical. Hog calling. Are you in the hog calling?
Oh, no. But it is funny to have, we had little kids hog call and big people hog call and stuff. And we have, the games are geared for kids. And we start off with the Prince and Princess contest, which is 3 to 5 year olds. And they come in and are handed an ear of corn, and they try to throw it in a bucket. And the one that gets the most in the bucket is crowned the winner. And so that is fun to watch. And then we have the older kids in 3 age groups, starting 6 to 8, 9 to 12, 13 to 16, do sack races, shoe races, bubblegum blowing, water balloon toss, just all kinds of games for kids. And that goes on until about 5 o'clock. And so they get out and enjoy, and we try to do as many water activities as possible because it is very hot.
There you go. That's true, especially after the bubblegum blowing contest when the huge bubble pops and the kid has it all over their face.
Yes.
That's what you do with the leftover ears after the corn's been eaten. You roll it around and pick up all the bubblegum.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
There you go. I'm always trying to get bubblegum out of my daughter's hair, so that might just work.
We're going to have a plink can thing going on this year, too. We haven't quite figured out what we're going to do, but this is an interesting thing. It's a little pistol that's got a laser in it, and it actually, you sight it on a can, and it knocks the can over if you hit it, which is pretty amazing because it's just a ray of light. So it was kind of interesting thing, and it's something that they use now instead of ammunition for sighting in weapons, and so it's kind of an interesting thing. So we're going to try to have some of that too, because we have a squirt gun contest is one of our big things that we do for the kids, and we may involve this plink can to do that.
That's great. So we have the old technology and the new technology.
There you go.
It's all together at Camp Verde Corn Fest. That sounds like so much fun. And of course you can eat corn. Let's not skip that part, all the corn you can eat practically.
Well, we roasted 187 dozen ears of corn last year and sold 200 and some other dozen ears last year. So we were making quite a few trips to Hauser's farm.
I bet. And do you know how much butter you went through?
No, but a lot.
How many tons of butter? That would be me. Just a bucket of butter and,
Well, we keep threatening to charge for toothpicks because, we thought that'd be a really good fundraiser for us if we charged $1 for a toothpick, but we haven't quite gotten that.
Oh, that is a great idea, though.
We could sell commemorative toothpicks, though, with the little logo of our
corn on the end.
That
would be so
Corny.
Corny.
That's Corny.
Yes, you have a mascot.
Yes.
Corny the raccoon.
Corny the raccoon is our mascot.
Will he be wandering around Corn Fest?
Well, my husband last year decided to buy a corn outfit. I thought he had lost his mind, and he said he wanted to walk around in a corn outfit, and I said, honey, if that's really what you want to do, please do. And he did. He said he'd never had his picture taken so many times, and he had a great time. And I can't believe at 110 degrees that he survived, but he did.
That's amazing.
So he's planning on having his corn suit on again. So
I thought it was an act of love just from a husband, but really it's just plain insanity.
I'm like having his picture taken. That's great. And also on Saturday there is a vintage style baseball game over at the fort. 2 of them. That's
one
really
at 10 and noon. They're coming up. They're coming up from Phoenix, from my understanding, to do that. So that'll be
fascinating.
Yeah, and that's hot too.
Yeah. Take a break, digest your corn, watch the baseball game, and then go back.
Yeah. And Farmers Market is also open from 7 until. They're going to stay as late as they can this year to continue to sell their goods.
That's great. And then one of my favorite things is the corniest joke contest. Now that's where my husband comes in. He's good at the corniest joke contest. So.
Well, 2 years ago, the corniest joke contest was a lady got up and she said the corniest joke, because we ran out of corn, and so she said the corniest joke is a corn fest without corn. Which I thought was pretty funny because it was like 5:30 in the afternoon and the storm was coming and we were going, okay, we're not going to get any more corn.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, monsoons can play havoc over there with that, and have historically in the past on a few occasions.
Well, sure. But that's a good thing. You're hot, then it rains on you.
Yeah.
That's really all
Some
you
people
need.
say we're crazy for having a summer festival, but hey, you know what? It is extremely popular.
Absolutely.
It's very much small town. It's very much family thing. It's just a good time for everybody.
Wow, that's great.
Especially nerds like us that just like corny stuff.
Oh, gosh. Well, Steve and Nikki, thank you so much for this wonderful festival. Make sure you get out to Corn Fest, which is happening in Camp Verde July 18th and Saturday the 19th. So make sure you get there. If you want more information, you can check out www.campverdepromotions.org, and then you can / the Corn Fest, and you'll get you right there. So we've got lots more of the Verde Valley Experience coming up, so don't go away.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline. There are now more registered voters in Arizona who say that they are independent than those who claim a particular party. If that's you, independents can vote in the primary elections after they select a party ballot. You fill it out and mail it back. If you vote at your polling place on Election Day, they will ask which ballot you'd like. Even though you're not a registered party member, your right to vote is protected and your vote will count.
A message from the League of Women Voters of Arizona.
When the city lights fade, our lights get brighter. When your night needs life, ours comes alive. When you want to do something different, we say, come out and play. Come experience the new Mountain Springs Buffet. All you can eat starting at just $7.
Cliff Castle Casino Hotel, voted #1 casino in Arizona 15 years in a row.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. My next guests are Holly Eppright. She is the Executive Director of the Sedona Main Street Program, and Jack Tennell, and he is the Creative Director of the historian for the Red Rock Posse. There we go. We have some big important people on the show today. And they're going to talk about the upcoming event on July 26th, Sedona's 10th annual National Day of the Cowboy Celebration. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
And Jack, you look fabulous, and you've got your cowgirl shirt on.
I do indeed.
That's great.
I get to play with cowboys every July. It's great fun.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Everybody
exactly.
loves cowboys and cowgirls, that's for sure. Especially in Sedona. So you've been doing this for 10 years now.
Yes.
And it's quite an event. Tell us a little bit about what goes on.
Well, we partner with the Red Rock Posse, and with their help and a tremendous amount of volunteers and some wonderful sponsors, we're able to bring free entertainment for the whole day. And we have a central area called the Cowboy Arena where there are a lot of gunfights and skits, and Jack will talk a little bit more about that for you. And then we have things happening all up and down Main Street as well during that time frame. So it's a free community event. Like I said, we couldn't do it without the help of a great team of people.
I bet volunteers are so important to us here in the Verde Valley, and we're so lucky that we have so many of them, so many wonderful people willing to put their heart and soul into these wonderful events, which really benefit everybody. And you're going to have live music as well.
We are.
You can do some dancing.
Can you come down and teach how to do line dancing? We need some volunteers.
Cowboy boogie and all that stuff. No, I'm sorry, I can two-step, but that's about where it ends.
Oh, well, we'll take that. That'll be good. And you'd be a draw for sure.
Oh, geez. I don't know. You haven't seen me two-step.
No matter. Trust me, you'd be a draw.
Too fun. So, Jack, tell us a little bit about what you guys will be doing as the Red Rock Posse.
Well, the Red Rock Posse is a street theater group that's actually made up mostly of real cowboys. And, you know, our mission is to educate people about the American cowboy, but do it through theater or through entertainment. And I'm the historian for the group, and I write most of the skits and I direct them. And we make them as historically accurate as we can. We have gunfight skits, and we have comedies, dramas. We have people that do bullwhip demonstrations and lariat demonstrations and gun spinning demonstrations. And but the whole idea is for people to kind of fall in love again with the legend of the American cowboy.
Absolutely, and quite a legend it is.
It is.
There's so much involved, and there's also art, I hear. You're going to have cowboy artists be there with lots of cowboy art.
We're going to have art demonstrations, and one of them is making silver belt buckles, and so that'll be interesting.
Well, that's exciting. What's a cowboy without a big old silver belt buckle?
That's right.
I've got myself a couple of those.
Yeah.
They're way too much fun. I love all the outfits. I really, it's one of my things.
Well, you know, come dressed up, because we are going to have a Western cowgirl, cowboy outfit contest.
Get out. Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh.
And then there's also a fast draw competition, and the public is invited to join in on both of those. So
Wow.
that should be a lot of fun, and you get an opportunity to wear your duds and be in a competition and see
Wow.
other people doing the same. So
Well, too fun. I can pretty fast draw my cell phone. I can use my cell phone.
I'm sure I could come up with a role or two for you
Oh, yeah?
in some of our melodramas too.
Oh, that would be fun.
So you'd be great.
no.
Exactly. Yeah.
Too cool. Now this happens July 26th. And what are the hours of the event?
the hours are 10 to 9 p.m.
Okay.
The Cowboy Arena will have acts going on from 11 o'clock to 5, and then from 6 to 8 p.m. And then the entertainment all along Main Street and the different activities that are going on will occur at various and sundry times during the day. So we have everything from the Arizona Rangers will be there with us to Somewhere in Time reenactors who are in period costume. You can get your pictures taken with them.
Nice.
True West is going to be there giving away magazines. We'll have a roper doing rope demonstrations, and you can try your hand at that. Like you said, we're going to have country entertainment and music. And for the younger set, there'll be a little cowboy beanbag toss and a ring toss, a squirt gun shootout, free balloons, popcorn, balloon twisting, face painting, and a chance to learn a lot about the American cowboy and the legends of the American cowboy. And at the Cowboy Arena, too, there's going to be Wyatt Earp, and that is the grandnephew of the legendary Wyatt Earp. And he'll be performing a tribute to his great uncle, and there'll also be cowboy poetry and lore, and we have in Sedona 2 young people in high school who are world champion cowboy action shooters.
Really?
And they will be there again this year doing a demonstration. It's just amazing to have world champions right in our backyard. So that'll be fun. And then one that caught my interest was Undressing the Victorian Lady. And that's a historical demonstration of all the layers of the Victorian wear.
Does that start as completely dressed to undressed, or undressed to completely dressed?
Well, you really have to come to find out
oh,
about that.
wow. Ooh, scandalous. That's exciting.
And again, we couldn't do it without our sponsors. Our title sponsors are Red Rock Western Jeep Tours and A Day in the West. And then we have Platinum Star sponsors, Sedona Pines and Wyndham Vacation Ownership, and a number of other sponsors who just really, without their financial contributions and without the donations from various and sundry businesses in our neck of the woods, we wouldn't be able to do this. It's truly put on by volunteers for the most part, but there still are costs in running an event. And
of course. It's just traffic cones alone, I hear, are really a lot. And porta potties.
Yeah, and we just bought some event stanchions, and I couldn't believe the price of those. I was like, oh my goodness, we keep adding so that we don't have to rent and borrow and beg and, you know, trade.
So 30 years from now, you won't have to buy anything.
Oh, well, I don't know. We have to find storage. You have any storage in your garage?
Geez, there's always something. So thank you so much to all the sponsors for this event, and of course all to the volunteers.
I should mention the Sedona Showstoppers. This is the second year that we have them, and they are a song and dance group, and they're doing a dance hall review throughout the day.
Oh, wow.
And Lee Anderson, he's a cowboy historian, and he comes with his horse Concho, and he actually does a whole rundown of the gear that cowboys used and the clothing they wore on the back of Concho, which is really interesting. The kids really think a lot of that.
I bet there is quite a lot. We talk about Victorian ladies, but the cowboy, there's a lot of layering going on
Absolutely.
here. For sure. Wow. So if you want to know anything about cowboy history, lore, music, equipment, the National Day of the Cowboy Celebration, which is happening in Sedona in the Uptown area, July 26th. And you said again the hours are from?
10 to 9.
10 to 9. So you got to make sure you get yourself there. And if you want to look a little bit more information perhaps on the website, www.sedonamainstreet.com will get you there. And you can always give them a call at 928-204-2390. And this is a free event, and it's going to be so much fun. So make sure you go there. Holly, thank you so much. Jack, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate all the info, and we'll be right back with lots more of the Verde Valley Experience.
Hi, I'm Sarina. It's almost election time again. Voting is a very important part of making a democracy work. Like many of you, I've signed up to receive an early ballot by mail each election. But because it comes weeks before the election, it's easy to just put it aside and forget it. But keep it handy as you learn about the candidates and issues. When you're done voting, the rest is simple. Just put the ballot in the white envelope and sign it. Then put that envelope in the larger yellow envelope. Just seal it and drop it in any mailbox.
A message from the League of Women Voters of Arizona.
When the city lights fade, our lights get brighter. When your night needs life, ours comes alive. When you want to do something different, we say, come out and play. Come experience the new Mountain Springs Buffet. All you can eat starting at just $7.
Cliff Castle Casino Hotel, voted #1 casino in Arizona 15 years in a row.
Good one, son.
Last summer, my new dad took me on vacation. First, we went deep sea fishing.
Wow! I'm so proud of you, son.
And then we went on Thunder Shark. That was awesome! Let's go again. 3 times. I gotta say, it was pretty cool.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Oh, not again.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. My next guest is Michael Marshall, and he's the Parks and Recreation Coordinator for Camp Verde Parks and Recreation Summer Trip Program. This is a very exciting program. If you haven't heard about this, you must listen up. Some really great stuff going on this summer. Michael, thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thanks for having me here.
You've got to tell me about this amazing program. I looked it up online and did a little research on it. I had no idea. This is very cool. How long have you been doing this?
Well, I'm relatively new in the position. I started last year, and we used to do a lot of stuff in years past, but with the economy downturn, things got cut back. We're now trying to do a little bit more. So we started doing a few trips last summer, and this summer we expanded, and I think we had 8 trips total scheduled this year. We've been on a few of them. We've still got some more to go. The idea was to do something once a week so that people could kind of look forward to it. Hey, you know, every Thursday we've got a trip going someplace interesting. Might not like all of them, but you might like some of them. So.
Right, and for example, like you guys recently just went to the Flagstaff Extreme course on June 26th and did that, so that's really exciting.
That was a lot of fun,
And July 10th, you're going to go to the Meteor Crater.
Yep,
one of
we're
my
going to go up to
favorite
Meteor
spots.
Crater. Yep, I haven't been to that one before. That's one of the advantages of this. I get to go to different places
It's
I haven't
very
been.
cool.
So yeah,
it is.
And
very cool.
and you know we're gonna head up there. We'll go up there and get a chance to see that, have lunch there, and then also what we're going to do on that is take a swing back through the Blue Ridge section and come back down a different way. I always like to come back a different route than you went up, so we'll be able to see more of the pines up there and see the Verde Valley coming in 260, which is some great views coming down from that road coming down from the Strawberry area. So.
That's true. And how these trips work is that the fee includes the bus, the activity, you pack your own lunch, so the whole day is taken care of, your transportation, all that good stuff, and it's a round trip. And so it's no muss, no fuss. You don't have to drive, you don't have to deal with anything, leave that all to you.
Yeah, and one of the things we have it set up is, you know, sometimes we have, you know, parents coming along with their kids or grandparents coming along with their grandchildren. We've also got adults that come along. We're also set up so that if the kid is usually about 8 years old or older, you can just drop them off and we'll take them. You know, you don't have, a parent doesn't have to come along. Because obviously a lot of people are working and can't do that. So that was one of the intents of this, is the ability to take your child and drop them off with us. You got to pre-register so we know they're coming and that kind of stuff. And we'll keep an eye on the kid for the day and take him up. And he or she can have a good time and bring you back, and you can just pick them up in town at the. Usually we leave. Most of the trips we leave around 9 o'clock in the morning, and most of them we're back around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it takes the bulk of the day there.
Yeah, that's great for the kids during the summer who may be, you know, stuck at home, or mom or dad is working. They want to do something exciting, like in July 24th, they're going to the Wet and Wild.
Yep, we did that last year. It's sort of our end of the season trip there. You know, it's a really big water park down there. Obviously, most of our trips this time of year we're heading north, up above the rim for cooler. But when you go to Phoenix this time of year, you want to go down there when you're going to be in the water all day. Or one of our trips is the Arizona Science Center. We're going to in a couple weeks. And that's air conditioned inside, you know, so that's okay to something like that. But you don't want to be outside in Phoenix this time of year. So.
Right, not unless you're at the Wet and Wild.
Right, yeah, and that's and that's why we went to Flagstaff last week. You mentioned the Extreme Adventure course. That was a great time up there. You know, it's cool up above the rim, lots of fun. We did week before that we did a little urban hike around Flagstaff. You know, on some of their urban trail systems. museums and had a chance, had lunch in downtown, and then went out another direction and saw a pond and that kind of stuff. So
it's a great program. Once a week, you go someplace different. It's travel included. You get something fun. You get brought back. I mean, why wouldn't you do that? That's so much fun.
And we're talking about extending some of these trips into the fall too. We haven't come up with a schedule yet, but Camp Verde is going to a 4-day school week, so they're not going to have school on Fridays.
Wow.
So one of the things we're going to look at doing is doing some Friday trips to do this. We probably won't do it every Friday, but we're also looking at doing some stuff with the library. The library was involved with one of the trips we did. We went to Butterfly Wonderland. We had 26 people went to that. That was really neat.
That's very cool.
Huge atrium filled with all these butterflies flying around, and that was pretty neat. So we're probably going to take another trip to there sometime this fall, as well as some other trips. And we also do other trips for adults or families. We do trips to the Diamondbacks games. We usually go once a month. As you know, we got one coming up July...
on the 18th.
Yeah, July 18th.
Friday, July 18th. The bus leaves at 4 p.m.
Yeah, we're going to go down and see the Chicago Cubs play. And we'll get back 11, 11:30, depends on how long the game goes, type of thing. And then we've got 2 other Sunday games that we're going to, August 10th and September 14th. We'll see the Rockies and the Padres. Same type of thing. You don't have to park. You don't have to deal with the traffic. It's $45. You get on the bus, you go down, they drop us off, 50 feet from the entrance. We walk through the door and our seats are right there. They're field level seats.
Wow.
And when it's time to leave, you walk outside and the bus is 100 yards up from where it dropped you off. And the driver has to fight with the traffic and deal with that. So it's a good deal.
Doesn't get any better than that.
No, it's a pretty good deal, and that we have really good seats. We're down the right field line, field level in section 112. We're usually rows somewhere between row 6 and row 15 or something, so you're really close to the field. And again, the advantage this time of year, even though it's really hot there, Chase Field is inside and air conditioned, which is the only, that's what you want to be when you're going to Phoenix in the summertime.
Definitely. And I know a lot of Diamondback fans, I mean, that's just great. You don't have to drive. Don't have to park, like you say, 50 feet, walk in, walk out. It doesn't get any easier.
Eat, drink whatever you want, have as much to eat, and you don't have to deal with the hassle of coming home at the end of the day.
Got the designated driver right there.
Yep, right there.
That's amazing. And it's through the Parks and Rec. So you want to contact Camp Verde Parks and Rec. You can give them a call at 928-554-0828, or you can go to www.cvaz.org, and they've got everything listed right there on the website. This is truly an amazing program. You want to take advantage of this for your kids, for yourselves. Gives you something to do every week to look forward to, something different. Some good stuff too.
Yeah, we're trying to go to a bunch of different places because different people have different interests. We're trying to have something for everybody, higher activity levels, lower activity levels, inside, outside, some science stuff, some entertainment stuff to try and make something for everybody. I mean, that's our job, is to try and provide a wide range of opportunities, not just have the same thing that only a small group of people might be interested in or something.
Right, yeah, well you do. You have everything, like you say. You have science and of course the water park, one of my favorite things, and then the D-back games, and it's just great. And there's something about, there's a $5 discount for a child for the first 6 kids to register for most of the trips.
The Kiwanis Club at Camp Verde has been very supportive of us. They provide scholarship money for our grasshopper basketball program for kids in the wintertime. And with this program coming up this summer, I talked to them and said, look, would you be willing to provide some assistance in giving a little bit of a break on this program for kids? And they came up with some money and said, yeah, we can basically offer a $5 discount for each of the first 6 kids that signs up for a trip. To make it, we've tried to keep the trips as low as possible, but every little bit helps, especially if you've got 2 kids or something like that, that you're trying to go, a family with more than 1 child or something. And the Kiwanis has been a long history of helping out with supporting kids, and this is a way that they've chosen to help this out too, to make it more reachable for more people. So
that's great. That's really nice of them. So thank you to the Kiwanis for that, and then thank you to Camp Verde for all this great stuff. I mean, this is a wonderful, wonderful thing. I urge you to take part in this. Check them out, www.cvaz.org. Michael, thank you so much.
No problem. We also have a Facebook page, Town of Camp Verde Parks and Recreation.
That's right.
We're trying to get a little more modern because not everybody is getting their information the same way.
Sure, yes, good old social media. So check them out on Facebook, the Town of Camp Verde Parks and Recreation. And we'll be right back. We got lots more show for you. Don't go away.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
When the city lights fade, our lights get brighter. When your night needs life, ours comes alive. When you want to do something different, we say, come out and play. Come experience the new Mountain Springs Buffet. All you can eat starting at just $7.
Cliff Castle Casino Hotel, voted #1 casino in Arizona 15 years in a row.
Welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. My next guest is Brandon Figge. Now I'm going to get this right this time. Brandon is the president of the High Desert Youth Football program, and he's here to talk about High Desert Youth Football registration. Woohoo!
Hey.
That was a tough one. Well, Brandon, thank you so much for joining me today.
Sure.
It's an amazing program. I looked you guys up online and I found out all kinds of great stuff. And how long has this particular program been going on?
It's probably been in town for over 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, registration is open now for the 2014 season. So you guys are looking for the kids to come in, and not only the football players, but also the cheerleaders, because you have a cheerleading program as well.
Yeah, yeah. Practice even starts 3 weeks from Monday, so it's coming quick, and we're looking to get the kids registered and get them out there.
Sure, so get out and get your cleats.
Yep, yep.
But you have to go through like 3 or 4 pairs of cleats a year. Kids grow so much.
It's all the different sports.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I know as with my daughter, it's 1 week the shoes fit, the next week they don't fit. So you must have to have, especially with all the equipment. Now you guys provide the equipment.
Yeah, the equipment's all provided. Registration's $80, and that includes the helmet, shoulder pads, all the pants and the pads. The only thing they have to get is cleats, and we provide a mouthpiece. Sometimes we go out and get our own mouthpieces for the kids, but yeah, we provide everything is included, and then we just do some fundraising for additional costs, and that's what we go with.
It's a great program. Now you've got different levels. You have, and I love their name, the Mighty Mites. Oh, that's so cute. The minors and the majors. There's 6 different teams,
right?
And each team gets their own cheerleading team,
right?
Which has their own cheer coach. So there's a lot of kids involved in this.
A lot of kids. We usually have between cheerleaders and football players over a couple hundred kids.
Wow.
And
that's a lot of kid wrangling.
Yeah, 6 through 14 years old, and yeah, so we're always looking for volunteers and coaches and cheer coaches and everything. So
there you go, get your volunteerism on.
Yeah,
get yourself down to the High Desert Youth Football program. Definitely something that's needed. Now, you know, a lot of parents this may be their first time as a parent of a kid who's going into football. Can you give them any tips to calm their nerves a little bit, or anything you can say to them?
Well, my son started when he was 6, and I was nervous as well, and I was like, he's getting beat up out there, but don't be scared. It you know, takes a lot for the kid to figure out he can hit somebody and he can get hit and he's okay.
Right.
So our kids have gotten hurt in every other sport besides football, just a couple bruises and stuff in football, but I know concussions are a big deal now, but you know, we've only had a couple instances of that in the last few years with technology, and we're using the new USA football thing. It's been around 3 or 4 years, and new techniques, and it's working real well. So
yeah, your coaches are highly trained. They go through a special training just for the concussion issue.
Yeah, every coach has to go through concussion training. Every coach has to be USA Football certified, which they do online. We have a promo code. It costs $5. They have to go through all this training and to be able to come out and coach for us. So I mean, kid safety is obviously the #1 priority, and so that's what we've implemented in the last 3 or 4 years, and it's working out real good.
I bet. I bet. There, we got that issue out of the way. Now talk about how good it is for your kids to play football.
Absolutely.
And all the life skills that they learn, like, I can get hit and get up, and I'm okay, and bounce back and move forward, and teamwork.
Welcome to life, huh?
Yeah, it basically is.
Get knocked down, get back up.
Yeah, football is life. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's great. It's so important, and you know, just physically for your kid, of course, to keep them healthy, the activity. And you're coming into it starting, as you said, July 28th is going to be the first week of practice. That's going to be a physically grueling week for the kids.
Sure, it's hot in the summertime, and so anything the parents can do to get the kids outside for just like an hour a day to get acclimated to the heat. It cools down as we get into end of August and September, but you know, heat issues are always a big deal, but we haven't any of those issues either. We gradually move them in. First week is without pads, and so you know, highly sensitive to all that stuff. So
yeah, and as you have to be here in Arizona.
Course. We don't want to have any of that. Yeah, but our kids are just acclimated already, I think.
Right.
So
that's true. They've been out playing now since it's been summertime for
we just did
a couple of weeks.
A player safety training in Phoenix a week ago, and we're surprised in our state that we don't have more issues.
Yeah.
But they're acclimated.
Right.
So
that is true.
Good.
That is true. You know, if they were coming from Pennsylvania or something, it'd be a different story.
Could be an issue.
But we live here.
But,
so.
Yeah, they do great. Kids do great.
Yeah.
So discipline's a big deal. That's why
that's true.
Life too. The discipline of football just helps them in everything.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot to it that goes into that.
Yeah.
So, and as a parent, you can really get involved. You can volunteer. You can be a volunteer coach or a referee or a cheer coach or something like that. You can get involved with your child now, getting into a stretching routine before and after, doing some drills at home, really some fun bonding experiences for a parent. Is your son still doing it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
He's 11 years old, and it's great. This will be his last year in the minors.
Yeah.
So 9 through 11-year-olds, and yeah, we have a great time. I mean, me and him out there, and all the other kids. We love getting out there with all the kids. So it's it's a great thing. We volunteer in a lot of stuff, and football's our favorite. So it's great for all the kids and parents, and we do need more volunteers.
Definitely, yeah. And if they want to volunteer, what's the best avenue for them to go? Should they check out your website?
Yeah, they could check out our website. They could call me personally. They could call my wife, and we will find something for them to do. They could come to one of our board meetings, which is the second Tuesday of every month at Cottonwood Oak Creek building right there, Clemenceau and Willard and Mingus.
The second Tuesday of every month over there on Willard and Mingus.
Yep.
Wow.
So they could come and get information, and we're always looking for help, fundraising, sponsors.
Yeah. Yeah, and definitely go to the website, that www.eteams with a Z, and then / for High Desert Youth Football, the HDYF. So it's right there on your screen. So that's where you want to go. Check them out. Great website. Lots of good stuff going on. Lots of good information, schedules, all kinds of stuff, everything you need to know. One of the things I recently read is the growth spurts that the kids go through at this time can put them a little off kilter every now and then and make it really interesting for them to play football. But you guys, you're used to working with that.
Yeah, and they, there's some kids who obviously get, grow into their coordination or not as they get older. You see a kid from 9 to 11 years old and you see how much he grows. It's just it's amazing.
It's astounding.
Yeah,
I know.
Pretty incredible.
From 1 week to the next, my daughter is like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I could get up and she could be looking me in the eye, and that would be very frightening. But that's a lot of fun to see your kid go through that and learning, of course, the teamwork and the discipline and all the physical effort that it takes to do football. It's a wonderful thing that all kids should do. And of course, the girls too get involved in the cheering. It's good for their coordination, which I have none of. So
my daughter's a great cheerleader.
I never got there. I like wasn't my thing.
Just wanted to touch too. We do travel.
Oh, right.
We do travel. We go as close as Camp Verde and as far away as Page.
Oh, great.
But we make it a fun deal. We went to Page last year. It was fun. Made a team experience out of it, and it was a good time. So basically Page and Wickenburg is about as far as we go. Oh, Baghdad. Baghdad.
Great.
So just want to let everybody know we do travel, and it's a great time, though.
And once it starts on July 28th, how often do you guys get together during the week?
The first 3 weeks of practice, we go 5 days.
All right.
And then after that, it's only 3 days a week. And then games are on Saturdays starting August 30th. Every day or every Saturday through November 8th is championship day. So we have 7 or 8 regular season games, and then 2 or 3 weeks of playoffs there.
Great.
At the end.
Very cool.
Yeah.
An awesome program. Brandon, thank you so much for joining me today.
Sure.
So you guys got to get to that website now, www.eteams/HDYF.com. Brandon Figge, the president of the High Desert Youth Football. Get yourself registered. Registration's open now. It's going to start soon, July 28th. So.
Oh, and they can pick up registration forms at Jackson Hewitt, Reese & Sons Tire, All Price Insurance, or the Cottonwood Rec Center has all the information.
There you go. That makes it easy. Thank you so much for joining me today.
No problem.
Cool. And we'll be right back.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
I can't seem to save anything.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Really?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous.
And welcome back to the Verde Valley Experience. Now we are at the Cottonwood Recreational Center, outside at the beautiful pool, because it's summertime and the living is easy, and I know that you're going to go near water at some point this summer. So we have with us today Jack Teal. Jack is it's such a wonderful title, I'll let you say it.
I am the Recreation Coordinator for Sports and Special Events with the City of Cottonwood.
Excellent, but here's something really cool that I didn't know until just a minute ago. Jack is one of the only 2 certified lifeguard trainers.
A water safety instructor trainer.
Water safety instructor.
And then a lifeguard instructor for the American Red Cross.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, it's
and been a lifetime commitment for you, too.
Absolutely, about 10 years. Going on 10 years this March.
Starting right here in this pool, which is really, really cool. So we're going to talk about water safety, and who else could be better, I mean, really, to talk about water safety than you, Jack. So thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure.
I love the graphics you have behind us. Can you explain those a little?
Yeah, they're just posters that the American Red Cross puts out for all the water safety swim lesson programs, learn to swim programs, things like that. We use them for our parent and taught classes, our mommy and me classes, and things like that. And all they're just little sayings to help, kind of get across to the children and, do it to something that they're going to understand, like to rhyme, good animations, things like that. So they're catchy. Look before you leap. It's always going to make sure that kids are looking and knowing what's underneath them before they jump into any body of water. And
certainly.
Just things like that. So they're really helpful when we go through and teach our classes. Great animations, the kids are able to remember them, they'll reference them, and it's a great tool to have at any facility.
Absolutely, and it's really cute. They do all rhyme. Too much sun is no fun. That's an important one. We all don't want to look like George Hamilton and then end up all wrinkly. So too much sun is no fun. Obviously wear your sunscreen. And I like this one, reach or throw but don't go. What does that mean?
Reach or throw, don't go it's one of the big ones when you're talking about water safety. Any body of water in general, pools, rivers, lakes, streams, any body of water, it's a really good one because you never really know the risk of what's in there. You don't know if the water's too cold. You don't know if there's something in the water. You don't know if the water is actually swimmable. When you're in pools and things like that, there's a certain health standard that you got to keep. So you always want to make sure that first off, you're able to go in the water before you go in. But reach or throw, don't go is just something we use to let people who aren't trained, like our lifeguards, to understand that try not to go into the water if at all possible. You can use your ring buoys, you can use your lifeguard tubes or shepherd's crooks, something as simple as the simple assist by reaching out your hand and say, hey, grab on, and then just pulling them in that way. So that way you're eliminating the risk of having, you go in there and becoming too cold, or the person, freaking out and grabbing onto you, and now you're creating a whole nother issue. So reach or throw is just a great one. We use to get across to the kids that there's other ways and other tools available to you to rescue people rather than going in and swimming out to them.
Right, that's really important. If you're in a water emergency situation, you don't want to add to it.
Absolutely.
You don't want to also then have to be safe. So reach, throw, or don't go. It's very, very important.
It's all about being water smart.
That is true, and being safe, absolutely. Anytime you're around any water, it doesn't even mean a pool. You've got one that says in your house, in your yard, watch for water, be on guard.
Absolutely, and that can be anything. It could be flooding, it could be, in your bathtub, it could be your home pool, just any water. Water, it's fun and everybody loves it, but there's hazards that come along with it. So it's just being smart, doing our part. So
you go, no, I like that. Be smart, do your part. Yeah. Everything right
they have
here.
Do your part, be water smart is something we use in the Red Cross. So.
That's really great. That's fun. Now here in Arizona, most of us don't have pools. We do a lot of swimming in rivers. Is there anything we should be concerned about with swimming in a river?
Absolutely. Like over here on one of our posters, where is it? look before you leap. It's a big one. You never know what's in the creek.
Right.
Tree stumps, lots of big boulders and things like that. You don't have the clarity that you do at a pool. So you want to make sure that first off, you're able to see what's below you. Is the water deep enough? You don't want to be diving into something that's 2 feet deep, things like that. So it's a huge one. It's going into streams. How strong is the current? Which way is the water running? All sorts of different things that go into swimming in creeks that we need to be aware of.
Yeah, that's true. And for me, it's how cold is the water.
Yeah, absolutely.
Personally.
The creek tends to be a little bit cold since they run down from the surrounding mountains.
It's a little bit too cold for me. I have to say, I'm much more of an 85-degree water person.
Yeah. Pool's perfect for you
Pool's
then.
perfect.
81.
Exactly.
So.
Less than that, 82. I'm wearing a wetsuit in the pool. Now, a lot of people go boating on the lakes during the summer. What can you tell us about water safety and boating?
You know, I'm going to Laughlin later tonight, and we just went over this with my nephew because we're going to be going out on jet skis and boats and canoes. So something you need to know is, first off, the body of water you're in. Where are you going? Make sure everybody in your group understands where you're at, so if anyone gets lost, they can communicate effectively to other individuals. This is where the rest of my group is. So you always want to know where you're at if you're going down a stream or something. Like over here, one of these right here, the Know About Boating Before You Go Floating, it's got a little map and stuff. You want to know your route, where you're going to end up, where you're starting out, how many people are with you. You want to know where your life jackets are. You should always have life jackets with you when you go on boats. So that way, if you fall out, if the boat tips, if anything happens, you're going to be secure in your life vest and you're going to be able to lay back and float. Always have a first aid kit, plenty of water, just like in any situation here in Arizona.
Right, so. That is really true. Always have enough water with you, even when you're on the water.
Absolutely. Make sure it's potable and drinkable.
Right, so. And with life jackets, what's the saying with life jackets?
Don't just pack it, wear your jacket.
Don't just pack it, wear your jacket. That's very, very important.
If you have it, use it.
That is true. Or you just might lose it. No.
Exactly. There we go. Got to get that on the poster.
So water safety is absolutely a huge thing that we have to think about in the summer. Your kids are in the pool, they're in the river, you're going boating on the lake. Definitely keep in mind all these wonderful things. Now, is there any website or any place people can look for additional water safety tips or to see these beautiful graphics that you have?
You know, the American Red Cross, if you go to AmericanRedCross.org, they have a lot of information about all water safety stuff. It's very easy. They have different links that you can click on and talk to you about it. You can visit the Learn to Swim website. You can visit just the generic Red Cross website. They're up. If you go to our website, cottonwoodaz.gov, we've got our little clickable communique, I think is what they're calling it. Inside of there, you can flip through the pages, and we've got our Learn to Swim program that has some of the information on there and things like that. But
oh, great. Yeah, that's one more thing you can do, the Learn to Swim program. I know my daughter's been in that numerous times.
Absolutely.
Some kids take to it like a fish, and some take to it like a rock. I have one of those. But so check that out. If your kids are not, maybe you want to tune up their swimming a little bit, get yourself involved in the Learn to Swim program. Check out the Red Cross website. Come down to the Cottonwood Pool. Hang out right here. This is fabulous. Jack, I can't thank you enough for joining us.
Hey, absolutely.
I really appreciate it.
Anytime we can help out, do our part, be water smart, we try.
That's great.
Promoting self-awareness in and around water, you know, want to make sure everybody's safe.
Yeah, very, very important. Jack Teal, thank you so much for being with us today.
Absolutely.
And we'll be right back with lots more of the Verde Valley Experience, so don't go away.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. You can't control where it will land, only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how to protect your community from wildfires.
So you can't save money? That's easy as pie. Brown bagging lunch instead of going out. $6 save times 5 days a week times 10 years is $21,000. That's a lot of lettuce. Small changes today, big bucks tomorrow. Feedthepig.org.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Take my hand and start a brand new day.
Underneath everything we are all people. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
He wakes up with the rising sun, puts a pot of coffee on, puts on his boots, takes his son to school. Then he's headed to the job. Yeah, you bet he's his own dang boss. Slaves away in the sun till nighttime comes. And that's when all the stories come out. If you know him, you know what I'm talking about. How many times he saw George Strait in those 82nd Airborne days. Now you probably know someone like my Theo Raymond. To work for him in the summer, learned how to swing a hammer. Him and my aunt got me my first pair of boots. And we would pick up a case of beer at the end of the day, and sit out back and cheers the sun away. And that's when all the stories came out. If you know him, you know what I'm talking about. How many times he saw George Strait in those 82nd Airborne days. Now you probably know someone like my Theo Raymond. Yeah. Someone who was a rebel child, is crazy once in a while, and likes a cold one more than now and then. 'Cause that's when all the stories come out. If you know him, you know what I'm talking about. How many times he saw George Strait in those 82nd Airborne days. Now you probably know someone like my Theo Raymond. That's when all the stories come out. If you know him, you know what I'm talking about. How many times he saw George Strait in those 82nd Airborne days. Now you probably know someone like my Theo Raymond.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you very much.
And you told me earlier this is the first time you're actually sharing this to other public.
Yeah. I played it for a small group of people one at a time, but this is pretty much one of the first times I've played it publicly.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
That's just an honor. And you just started writing your own material as well.
Yeah. This was actually the first complete song I've written. I've kind of compiled a bunch of lyrics and into a little notebook, and this is the first one that I've written beginning to end, and it was kind of the easiest to write too, which is kind of odd, I guess. I don't know if that's odd, but it's definitely came the most natural, and I wrote it in like 30 minutes. So
that's great. I mean, it's from the heart. when it comes like that. Well, gee, I was so taken. I haven't even introduced you yet. Kyle Benedict. This is our in-house musician. This is our newsman. Aren't we lucky? We are so lucky to have such talent in the house.
Thank you very much.
How long have you been singing and playing?
I've been playing the guitar for probably about 10, 11 years, and I would say seriously probably 2 years. And it started out just, it's a funny story. In middle school, we got, during PE class, it was raining, and we had to come up with these health skits, and one of my friends was playing music, and he played the guitar, and it was like the soundtrack for it. And I was like, that is awesome, and I want to learn how to do that. And took some lessons, and yeah, just kind of took off from there.
That's awesome. Well, definitely keep it up. Don't stop now.
Thank you very much.
You're going to play another song for us in a little while as well, so that's very exciting. And but you know, you've also been playing out in public. You played up in Flag quite a bit, actually. Regular gig at Charlie's?
Yeah. Charlie's at the Weatherford Hotel for I would say just under a year. I was playing every Thursday. Every Thursday night I was playing there for 2 to 3 hours, and it was a blast. I mean, at first it started out I was just kind of singing karaoke there, and then they kind of heard I play the guitar, and it just kind of took off, and it was the highlight of the week playing there at Charlie's. And I had a ton of friends that would come out, and it was just an awesome experience.
Yeah, definitely. So I hope to see you more around the Verde Valley for sure while you're here. That's great. And so news, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You have to be the news with the guitar behind it. You could write your own soundtrack.
I know, right there you go, right there on sound. I joke about that with one of the coworkers of like, man, you know, we do the news with some music in the background. I was like, I wonder if I could do it with that, but I don't know if that would go over too well.
So when you played at Charlie's, what kind of music do you play?
I play a lot of, I would say my main genre is country music. I love country music, just the stories behind the songs, and how relatable they really are. And but I love classic rock. I grew up listening to classic rock. I always tell the story. People ask, you know, when I play some of these older classic rock songs, how, you know, why someone like, you know, I guess my age would play these songs, and I would tell them it's because whenever I would ride in the car with my dad, we didn't dare touch the dial to the radio and change it. So it's kind of just, you know, what I grew up listening to, and then my mom loved country music, so that just kind of sank in.
Yeah, well, it obviously comes very naturally and easily for you, so that's working for you. I encourage you to stay with that rather than going like rap or something.
Yeah, so. No, I love, and the thing with songwriting, and I think I find myself writing country songs more so, is because I really like kind of the challenge of taking experiences that I have and putting them into a song and writing lyrics that people can relate to, but the fact that they're, you know, something that I experienced, and knowing that someone else might be able to relate to it is really kind of rewarding, I guess, to me. That's why this song, it's, you know, about my uncle, but I say you probably know someone like my Theo Raymond, and that's because I feel like everyone has someone, that guy or that, you know, family member who just is so proud of what he's done, and he's done so much, and he's just one of those guys you just want to sit out in the garage with and just listen to his stories.
We all have one of those. We definitely do. Tell us a little bit about the next song you're going to
play. So the next song it's a little bit more upbeat. It's everything that all the songs I've tried to write seem to be really kind of mellow and low key, but some friends of mine were telling me I need to write something more upbeat, especially to play up at Charlie's, and so I kind of went out of the box a little bit and came up with a little more fun, upbeat song that's basically just about, I've been to, you know, so many different places, but the one place I've really wanted to go for a while is Nashville, Tennessee, just because of the live music there, and ended up going just a couple months ago, and I went to Nashville, Tennessee, and it was everything I thought it would be. Music everywhere.
Great.
So.
That's great. That's so inspiring. Well, everyone, Kyle Benedict, our wonderful musician here at Yavapai Broadcasting. So thank you, Kyle, for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Play on.
All right.
We'll see you next time on the Verde Valley Experience.
I've been out to the West Coast, yes, to California. I've been up to the East Coast, Manhattan, that's one big city. I've been to Mexico, hung out with the chicas, hung with the locals in Costa Rica, but me, I've never been to Tennessee. Tennessee, I hear the women are sweet as can be. Tennessee, man, I love that number 7 whiskey. I hear they like to party. So mama, if you're looking for me, I'm in Music City. I finally saved enough money for those 2 tickets. In about 4 hours, baby, we'll have made it. I've been to Mexico, hung out with the chicas, chilled with the locals in Costa Rica, but me, I'm on my way to Tennessee. Tennessee, with my baby, yeah, she's sweet as can be. Tennessee, on Broadway, music everywhere I see. They sure do like to party. So mama, if you're looking for me, I'm in Music City. So mama, if you're looking for me, I'm in Music City.